Thought I'd do a little series of videos on my Octapad based electronic drum kit. Why? Well, because it's blowing my mind, honestly. I thought I'd do a little series of videos about my Octapad based drum kit. You know, the Roland SPD-30. And why? I'm a dude who's played acoustic drums for way over 30 years, and I've never really liked electronic drum kits. I just haven't. I find them to be kind of flimsy, and the setting up and tearing down of them is a pain in the ass. I don't like the racks and, the sounds and all that. I just don't. So, what's so cool about the Octapad? Well, everything. You can do all kinds of cool stuff with it. And honestly, I was surprised about the versatility of it. The many uses that I've come up with it and for it. So, let's start. It's extremely handy for practicing. You can take it to gigs in small venues, like in really small spaces where you have to really tone down the volume. And, you get extremely good sounds out of it if you use a special software. And I'm going to explain more about that in one video. It's super easy to tear down and set up. It's lightweight, it's compact. You can pretty much set it up anywhere where you have electricity. So that's pretty much like the only minus that I've found, the need for electricity. But then again, I haven't played a completely acoustic gig like in ages, where I would not have access to any electricity. So that's kind of a made up minus. And it's sure way nicer to play than a cajon, the box that you slap with your hands and kick with the pedal. It kind of fits to some situations, but as a replacement for a drum kit, it sucks. It sucks. Octapad doesn't. And speaking of drum sets, when you go to a small venue and you have to play super quiet, I do not get any enjoyment out of it, because you lose so much of the feel of playing. And with the Octapad, you don't have to think about it, because you can hit it as hard as you normally would, and it will sound like the real drums, even though you're keeping the volume down. That's super handy. So I realized that there's quite a lot of ground to be covered about the Octapad, and thus I've decided to make a few separate videos, because this would be a really long video to watch. So at first I'll just talk to you in general about the Octapad, how I came up with the idea of getting one and needing one, and then on the next video we'll talk about the hardware, then about the software, about practicing and gigging with it, and about recording with it, with a zoom, with a camera, with your phone, with a GoPro, with Reaper or anything else like that. So we got tons of stuff to go through. But first, where did I get the idea of having an Octapad based drum set? Well, a couple of years ago, I saw this video of a band called Project RNL playing a gig in Tel Aviv in Israel, and the drummer, Sharon Petrover, well, I'm sorry, Sharon, but I find it hard to pronounce your name correctly. My bad, completely. Played this awesome sounding drum set, and I had the video playing on my TV, and I just didn't even, think about it. I just listened to it, and I turned my head and saw this dude playing this weird set of pads and bass drum pedals and a hi-hat pedal and a snare pad. And the sounds were actually coming from that in a live setting on a beach in Tel Aviv. I was totally blown away by it. I was like, what? And I immediately realized that that's what I want. So I liked it. I wanted it. But it wasn't until the last fall that I realized that I needed it, because we had the COVID situation with the isolations and quarantines, and I just had a divorce and I moved to live by myself in this apartment building, and I had all the time in the world, and I have all the time in the world every other week when I'm alone and not with my son. So I wanted a system with which I could keep playing drums, recording drums, practicing drumming without leaving my house. So I ordered the Octapad and the snare pad and the hi-hat controller and the bass drum pad from the local music store, picked it up, brought it home, and set it up as far as I could. And after I had set it up, I sent some DMs to Sharon to ask more specifics about how did he actually produce the sounds. And being the cool guy he is, he told me that I need this software called BFD3. So I bought that, I set it up, I tweaked it up, set up the preferences. If I had any problems, I would again DM Sharon and he would help me to the best of his ability. And it's set up. I've played with it for a few months now, well, since November, and damn, I'm this close to actually just selling my acoustic kit, because that's pretty much like all I need. I'm not selling it though, I guess, but I just don't even feel the need to go to my acoustic set to play drums anymore. So, during the following videos, I'm gonna try to convince you about the possibilities of the Octapad-based drum set. It's not super cheap. It was like 1,300 euros for, all the hardware pieces, and then about 150 euros for the software, I guess. And I needed an audio interface, and I've got my old MacBook Pro with which I run the BFD3, but once you got it all set, damn. So, that's about it. That's a small introduction as to why do I have it. So during the following videos, I'm gonna try and help you save time in setting it up and making it sound awesome. You'll do just fine with the built-in sounds if you're up for that kind of stuff. I've made my recent YouTube videos with the built-in sounds because it's faster. And when the inspiration hits, you can just press the power on, turn on the speakers, and you're good to go. But we'll go through all these use cases because it's really awesome. Really awesome. And here all the, subscribes, bells and buttons and likes, but I think you can handle it by yourself if you feel like it. And if you have any questions or ideas about the following videos, just leave a comment. I'm not gonna point at the comments like, oh shit, I did it. But somewhere in there, I'm still kind of new to this YouTubing thing. But we'll see you next time. I'm gonna try to edit this and see if I got the lighting correct, if I got the sounds correct, and how does one even do stuff like this. So bear with me. See you next time. because... Hyvä.